Absolutely not. Good morning. You're listening to Sleepy Seahorse Radio. This is your host, Storie Grubb, and I'll be here all day. For the rest of my life, at least. Or at least until the end of yours. Oh, my children. What does it all mean? What does it all mean? And who cares? Ooh, this pen is like brand new. I'm trying to finish up this drawing. I'm adding circles and stars, flying stars, winged stars, stars, and cubed stars that are cubed. For easy transport and removal. It's easier to remove something that's three-dimensional instead of something that's actually two-dimensional. It's true. I tested this theory last week on my channel, and it worked out fine for me. The skeptics were left in the dust, and I won $1 million. Here I am. Mellow yellow. Wash it all down with a can of paint. Which star? This one? Or this one? Or you just want a yellow star? I'll give you a golden star right now. Just for being my friend. Because I prefer black and white when I'm illustrating. I'm a big fan of black and white artists. I know this one cracker. He's white as they can come. And then I have a black fellow artist. He's quite black. I like all kinds of different artists. It's the mind that I'm attracted to. What's this skin stuff that everybody keeps hammering on about? It's what you do with your mind that matters. and how you follow your heart and where your dreams take you. And if you want to see others succeed in their dreams, that's what's important to me. That's what differentiates the Bowleys from the prophets, I suppose. Speaking of profit, does anybody have any money? Trying to make a profit? Someday they'll make a profit out of me. I have bills to pay. I have 5 kids. Remember Total Recall? Crayons. Actually, I don't have crayons, but I have oil pastels. That's the closest thing I have to crayons. And I have a lot of colored pens. But I would never draw this in. The thing is, someday I would like to make a big coloring book. So I could ship this to you on coloring paper and you could color it yourself. I think that'd be cool to see different versions of people's colorful minds on one of my illustrations. But if you ever look at MC Escher, he's one of my favorites. Or H.R. Giger. I don't know why they always initial their first names. But Escher is one of my favorites, and all of his stuff is in black and white practically. As a kid, it was just more accessible as well. But I also like black and white comic books. I like black and white food, like Oreos. What else? I like black and white music. I'm just kidding. Those are valid questions. Thank you, Thatch. Dangerously close to the edge there. Gotta smooth that part out. Plus, I always kind of thought that with black and white, people can add, even in their mind, when they look at it, when they really get sucked into a drawing, I think people's minds can add in that kind of stuff. It's up to the viewer to kind of fill in the gaps. I think black and white art does that too. Even ancient art, you know. All you gotta do is look at it long enough and then you'll start seeing color. And I dare you to look at it on a psychedelic. You'll definitely be seeing colors, and they'll be coming at you. The walls will be vibrating, and the lizards will start talking. And that happens to me without the use of psychedelics. But every time I go to the grocery store, I'm dealing with reptilians and things like that. You know, people that just have these lizard tongues. And they stick them out of their head, and they point them at me, and they try to smell me with their tongues. And I'm like, you can't smell me. I doused myself with kerosene before. Before I go out anywhere, I douse myself with kerosene. And I hold a lighter out just in case somebody wants to get frisky. You want to dance? We can dance. But today's not the day, reptiles. It's strange. Even the babies. Little reptoids. I don't say that lightly. They're everywhere. They're everywhere that I want to be. It's your reptile. Use it when you want it. That's all I'm trying to say. In the end. But they controlled everything, the reptiles and Bigfoot. That's true. They even control the signal that can't get through tinfoil hats. So what are you going to do? At that point, you're done. You're cooked. Might as well join the team. That's why I joined the reptoids about 13 years ago. But not to join them, to infiltrate them. But they do pay well. They pay very well. I know all sorts of stuff that could bring them down, but the pay is really good. I'm gonna stick it out just a little bit longer until my pension runs out, and then I'll bring down the whole company. I'll bring down the whole system. This song always reminds me of Terminator, the first one. This music is my friend Sleepy Seahorse. There we go. I'm just filling in the gaps. This is the last corner I have to do, and then I'm done with this illustration. It's quite big, but I've got all the edges in the last few days. The bottoms. And then it goes up. Like that. And then it goes over. And that's where we're at right now. Right there. And that's it. And then I'll be done with it. Oh shit. I just put my hand in my coffee for some reason. Nope. Oop. There we go. I've been off and on working on this for... That was a weird way of saying that. I've been working off and on this for, I don't know how long it's been. 4 months. Just tinkering away at it, you know. Usually I can bust out a drawing this size in a few weeks, if that, you know. But I've only been drawing this on YouTube. I pay extra to get Chad-free entertainment. And golly gosh darn dang, I'm gonna get it right now. YouTube. Now Chad-free. That's a funny name. Handle. Some of y'all's handles really crack me up. Y'all can't handle this. Yes we can. Quit moving paper. don't forget you can do whatever you want. I mean, you literally can when it comes to art. You can take as many chances and risks as you need to. And all it does is make you better if you make so-called mistakes. You just gotta follow it through. And then those mistakes become a part of it. And that's how life imitates art, too. You just gotta roll with it. Sometimes I wish I was a vampire. I used to really think about it. Like if I was a Lost Boy, if I was Michael from the Lost Boys. They're only noodles, Michael. They're only noodles. I totally would have been one of those dudes. Hanging upside down after a nice warm meal in a cave. Those were the days. Oh, thank you, Chad. Streams are so weird. I was wondering what took the algorithm so long. Well, I don't think they had a rhythm section. Are we talking about the band Al Gore, the Al Gore's band, the Al Gore Rhythm, or wait, what? Hello, we're the Al Gore Rhythm, and here we go. Hey, 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 I'm Al Gore, and this is my rhythm. Listen closely. I don't have to swear in music to make it impactful. I do. Never mind. That's stupid. Stupid joke. It is strange, the algorithm, and I say this every so often, but you know, it does, like, I notice when there's like a difference in videos and stuff, you know, that I post or live streams, and it is when people like the videos or something. It's strange because on my end sometimes I'll, you know, have 4 people watching, or that's what it says anyways, whether or not they're coming and going probably still, but it'll say 4, and then all of a sudden it'll jump to like 46 for some reason, and I'm like, whoa, freaking 46 people are watching me right now, like what the heck? Because that's like a million for me. And but then within, I just give it like a minute and a half, or like 30 seconds, and then it goes back down to like 5 or 6, and then back down to like 2 and 4, to and fro. I used to average at like 10, 13, but I think people just move on. And I'm lucky to have any views at all. But I feel like it would be sort of like a cop-out if I were to just constantly talk about like the news of the day kind of stuff, you know? I don't want my channel to be like, well, politics and my version of what I think the world should be and all this stuff constantly. If I'm talking about that stuff, it's usually big picture, like universal stuff, you know, like for all of us. Not just the few or the side that I choose to be on, which I'm like an Ent from Lord of the Rings. when he says sides. I'm not on anybody's side, little hobbit, because nobody's on my side. That's how it feels sometimes. I just want to disappear into the forest and become one with the Yeti, with the hairy men of the Northwest, once again. This time I'm going to bring some technology. Last time I lived out there for 45 years out there with the hairy men, the Bigfoot, the Yeti. Sassy. We called them Sassy after a while, but there was a whole family of them. Sassies. Sassy squatchies. Squatchers. I was a squatcher. What could I say? I was a squelcher. I was a squatcher. I was a squelcher. I traveled up and down trees, naked in the dark, yelling at the moon, studying my ancient squatcher techniques and disciplines. I was a popular one. But still, Daddy Squatch wouldn't take me in, didn't accept me, never accepted me. He bit my ears off and sent me off into the wild. And that's how I ended up here, 37 years later, on a little rock outside Nebraska, Antarctica, where time stands still. I can't read that, I'm sorry, but thank you. Hi. Is that translating it for me? Wow, nice. I'm on your side. Is that what you're saying, or is that... I'm confused. Chad Squatchy, that's so... Sassy Squatch. I'm a sassy Squatch. Roll over, Red Rover. What is it? Is it come over, Red Rover? What is it? Roll over. Oh, Red Rover, Red Rover. What the heck? I used to play that game as a kid. Stupidest game. Give me dodgeball any day of the week. Kickball, for that matter. It'd be cool to go out into a park and play like adult kickball. Remember that? Dodgeball was the best, like up against the wall. But it sucked when like people would throw it hard and it would bounce off the wall and hit you. That really hurt. You go home with all these bruises on your legs. What happened at school today? Couldn't dodge the ball in time, Ma. Couldn't dodge it in time. Where's sister? Ma. The ball got her, Ma. The ball got her, Ma. She's gone. What? The school didn't even call me. I tried, Mom. You didn't answer. Remember, friends, dodgeball kills. I wonder if there's ever been a case of somebody, like a kid, getting hit in the head so hard that they died out of school like that. I'm sure there is. Can you imagine? That would just be... Imagine being the kid that threw it and like you just kill like another kid. And how cool, like everybody would treat you so cool for the rest of your life. Probably be a little bit afraid of you, but that's respect, you know? Fear is some kind of form of respect. Better that than retaliation, that's for darn sure. You're still gotta watch your back for the rest of your life too. You know, I'm from the hood. And, you know, that's just, when you kill people with balls, then, well, their family comes out for you in force. And they be carrying the littler versions of those red ball, you know, the bouncing red ball. And those things will cut right through you. They'll slip razors on those things and shoot them at you from their cars as you're walking by. You gotta watch out, kids. Take money from strangers and then run. Eat the candy, but then run. Unless it's poisonous. You have to taste it first, but it's not. Make sure it's not poisonous. But then after that, run. I hope there's no kids watching. That was a joke. Don't ever talk to strangers. Just run and scream at the top of your lungs. I don't care what you scream. Just scream it. I've said it before, but there's so many times when I was a kid where, looking back, I think I was gonna get abducted or something, but I just like hauled ass. Something in my brain was just like, go, go, bicycle the hell out of here, fast. And I got out with my stupid little life. You don't know. How are you? How am I? Oh, I'm squatching. I'm squatched out, bro. I've been squatching for years, bro. Brog. Can I call you bro? I will call you Critter from another litter. And we shall all be friends. I made some dinner for tomorrow night's feast, and I was wondering if anybody else wanted to come or donate to the cause. All you have to do is donate your left foot. I like feet. I have a feet thing, so foot thing. So if you wouldn't mind donating your left foot, that would be cool. Even just an imprint on a wet piece of cement, dry it with the hair dryer. Because the event's is tomorrow night. You're not going to have time to dry it for the 3 days that the packaging probably recommends. So like just an imprint of the foot, make sure the little fingerprints, little thumbprints are in there, so I can like look at the obsess over your thumbprints and just you know the drill. You know the drill. Just feet, left feet, please, as soon as you can. This is absolutely not a joke. I'm playing around. I have a stupid sense of humor, my friend. Hello, Mark. Today's Sunday. In Australia, I think it's Monday. Which has always been a trip to me because that means in New York right now, it's Tuesday. And I'm just kind of confused about all that too. I've been down in Antarctica for so long. I don't know what is up and up is down and left, right, what. I don't even know. I do know one thing though, friends. I like coffee. I'm gonna take a drink of my coffee really quick. I'm gonna see. Okay. And that's why I love life, because it's just that simple. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. That would also really help my channel out. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. I can't believe that. That's insane. And from scratch, practically. I mean, I had help. I had help getting to where I am now. I'm not going to lie. The mob owns about 40% of my stock, and any profit that I make, they get 40%. They come bi-weekly to collect. My mom, she owns about 20. She's also going to come collecting today, and I don't have the money to pay her. She's probably going to take my left foot, thus my begging and pleading for the feet of your left side. What else? I owe the government the rest, pretty much. And the 1% that I get to keep, I owe that to the guy who mows my frickin' lawn. He doesn't even do a good job, and I have to pay him the rest of my frickin' money. I mean, what the? This is America, goddammit. I want to mow my own lawn, and I want to tell myself to get off my own goddamn lawn. I'm tired of telling my lawnmower man to do that. Finish my lawn first, but then get the hell off my lawn, you son of a bitch. Yeah, happy day to you too, sir. Here's $10. Here's the rest of my $10. I'm an American, goddammit. Get off my lawn. Love you. See you next week. That's how it should be done. This ain't no joke. This is the American dream, baby. Where are you from? R.A. You're from Ra? Who? You're from Rahu. Let me try to troubleshoot here for a second. R.A. R.A. You're from R.A. How do you, what the heck? How would you even pronounce that? Ra? There's no, Ra. Come on now. Throw me a bone. You don't have any bones? Well, I live in California. And I've been drawing my whole life. I don't wish anybody any ill will on this planet. I'm a firm believer that we could all be friends if it wasn't for the almighty petrodollar and what that has done to our culture and our world and our dreams and our future. I think humans are smart, but we're led by stupid people. And we are led by our noses to believe, to deceive, to fear, and to fight their wars. And I, for one, opt out. Even though I'm a part of, I'm just a little screw in the whole frickin' machine too, or whatever, you know. It can't be helped, really. But you can flavor the world with some goodness when you can, as it comes to you. Be a reflector of the good things you want to see in the world. And make a choice. People can make a choice just to be better. It's not easy to be a good person. That's for sure. Have you noticed? That's why when I see people who have like love and patience and compassion in their hearts, it's like it stops me dead in my tracks because I'm still working on it, you know. I have a lot of compassion in me, but there's a lot of anger, fear, hate, not gonna lie, for certain people who do certain things to other people. But can't, I don't know, can't turn that fear and that hatred into violence. You know, you gotta call it out, pour some light onto it so it can't escape, trap it under a cup like a cockroach. Then you gotta look at it and you gotta break it apart and you gotta figure it out. You gotta take it apart and put the pieces back together until you know it inside and out. And that's the only way you're ever gonna change or change the world around you. Of course, I say this kind of stuff, but I don't follow my own advice. I know it deep down in my heart what it takes to be a good person, but I fail every day at it. But that's okay. Because I know I'm not alone. And you can always start over. And as long as you are alive, it's never too late to be a good person. To do better things, to make better choices. To look out for other people. Strangers even. You know what I mean. I'm not saying you as in you, my friend. I'm just saying you as in people in general. Just so you know. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. If anything, I point fingers more at myself. I'm talking to myself, I guess. Tired of being afraid. Tired of being tired. Waiting. Tired of waiting for the future to come, for things to get better. Sometimes you just gotta make it better. Make your world better, and you can. I'm sure it's different in other places. I'm very privileged to be able to do that. Other people don't have a choice. They gotta handle the cards that they were dealt. But I would like to be a voice for people that don't have a voice. That's why I'm running for mayor of the world. What am I doing? I have to draw a black space in here, dang it. Get with it, Storie. Look at all this empty space. Yeah, like I was saying the other night too, it is funny because some of my favorite art and artists aren't even from my country or my time. They're from every other country in the world besides this country. Because this country was like wiped out at some point, you know? There might have been, there could have been like pyramids here, like, so many 20,000 years ago. But then the cataclysm happened and just wiped everything off the face of this freaking, like the Great Plains. It's just crazy to think like what was actually there before and how it was just wiped out in a humongous cataclysm. But they still find ancient stuff in America, but I'm talking ancient, ancient. Because it doesn't make any sense that this continent was free of that kind of stuff when you consider the fact that there were seafaring people all over this world thousands and thousands of years ago, going all over the place. They even went to the frickin' moon in canoes. It's wild. That's talent, and it's important to talk about it, I think. No, but a lot of my favorite artists are ancient artists, like cave paintings, and there's those cave paintings in France that I can't pronounce the name of, and they're like 26,000 years old, and they're the most beautiful paintings you'd ever see in your life. I would probably faint if I were able to go in there and actually look at them. They used to let people in there willy nilly, just all the time to look at stuff, and then over time, so many people going in the caves started messing with the environment and changing like the environment, and the paintings started being damaged from people's presence. So they started limiting it. I don't even know if they let people in there anymore because it hurt the art so bad, which is crazy to think about too. Plus, it's just wild how, I mean, in a cave of all places, yeah, so for protection, I imagine, but they had to have been using a light source like torches to make those things. And if you look at the paintings, it's just they were obviously meant to last, and they're just super freaking beautiful. And they're using the contours of the cave to accent the shapes and like the figures that they were drawing, like bison and wildlife and humans and things. Like they were using the rock to as shapes for these figures. And it's not just cave paintings. They were it's just so wild to think about these freaking people doing that. And it makes sense why they would, for many reasons, but how they did it is just beyond me. People would say that they had a lot of time on their hands, but I would say I don't know about that because there's like huge predators outside the cave, and they needed to get food every single day and do all sorts of stuff to stay alive and stuff. It's not like they were like sitting around playing Scrabble or something like that, you know? Let's invent some woods today. Oh yes, let's invent some woods. What the fuck was that? You know what I mean? Though it's just they didn't have so much time on their hands. Plus, when it got dark, that was it. They were like done for the day. They had to like find shelter. They had to huddle together because the darkness was like even the worst thing about their world. It wasn't like they can go inside and turn the lights on, but they could go into a cave with torches, and fires and stuff like that, which they did, of course. But it's just fascinating to me. And yeah, at a time when they say like we were just the most as primitive could be, we're creating megalithic structures that last in eternity, you know, and the discipline it would have taken and the knowledge to create these things all over our planet in such a fashion would have just been ginormous. Like to be able to feed the people that created those things, you'd have to have water, you'd have to have food, you'd have to have all sorts of things. Like, and these people did it like it was easy. They created pyramids that are more true north than we can even do today on a scale uh, 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 that we can't even fathom. And they did it. They say that they did it with like chicken bones and toenail clippings and stuff like that, and get cat gut, fish bones and stuff. That's how they created the pyramids. Not to mention that the pyramids aren't just a bunch of rocks packed on top of each other. There's shafts inside of there. There's very, very specific. It was a specific design, like the Great Pyramid in Gaza. Um, it's a very specific pyramid for a very specific purpose, and that's why people claim that it's a tomb. But I mean, if you know anything about the pyramids, I don't. I've never been there. I heard it's nice, but I don't think that they're tombs. They were tools. They were machines. These things. There's not one hieroglyph in that Great Pyramid that explains how it was made or who made it. Not even they call it the what is it, Kaffa or Khufu, the Pyramid of Khufu, his tomb, but there's no there's no engravings in that entire thing. There's graffiti in one of the lower levels, and it said that this tomb or this pyramid was Pharaoh Khufu or something like that. And that's the only reason they think it could. And plus, it was during his, you know, they uncovered stuff like from his reign. So basically, these pharaohs would just move into all of this happened all over the world. People just moved in, like even the Inca and like Punchu or whatever Puma Puchu. Um, they like moved into like ancient structures and built on top of these things and used them as temples, and they used them as tombs probably and stuff, but they weren't originally made for these reasons, in my opinion. Because if you look at the stones, like the Inca stones compared to like the ancient stones, there's no comparison. These other ones are megalithic. They're impossible. They're impossible to make. I'm not saying aliens did it, but uh, I think humans lost some abilities during the last cataclysm, and or we lost assistance in with something, and we lost something in our minds. It's like Graham Hancock says, there's like a species with amnesia. Whether or not you believe in it is one thing. It's whatever. Well, I don't care. But whether you believe him or not, or me, I'm not trying to prove anything or convince anybody of anything. It's just what I feel in my heart. I also feel that I want money, a lot of money. I have that in my heart as well. I want a heart full of money and gold. And that's where I'm gonna find it when I do go back down into the jungles and look for my tomb that I can build on. Yep. I'm going next week if anybody wants to go. Somewhere in the Amazon. I'll be gone for 7 years. Hello, Malo. Hello, Malabado. I'm finishing up this drawing, Malabado. I'm trying. I'm talking so much, I'm surprised that Terry hasn't come out of the woodwork to give me a chemical. But I'm expecting it any second. I haven't done anything wrong, and yet I'm treated like a criminal around here. I wish that I could draw bumblebees, but all I know how to draw is a bee, just a regular old bee. Perfect. I hope everybody's having a really wonderful morning so far. I like drawing stars and little clusters of things. I like clustering things together next to stars in the dark. I think that's exactly what I'm doing. There we go. Let me cut that off right there. It's getting crowded in here. It's getting crowdly. So that's actually the top. So that's how it's going to look like when it's kind of interesting. I was going to say cool, but then I decided to say interesting. I do like that. That weird little spot. Sorry. Oh. Earthquakes, everybody. I live in California. Let's see. There we go. That pen is dying. This one's worse. Let's try this one. Oh my god, this one's worse. Oh, no, yeah, no. Oh, shit, on a stick. With a brick and a lick. Okay. Thank you, Marquez. Gracias. Marquez, yes. Your words inspired me. They inspired me to dance, to think, and to love. Marquez, oh, you're telling me what to do again, Marquez. Hello from California, Marquez. What you doing? Where you from, my friend Marquez? Oh, oh, Marquez. Oh, oh, Marquez. Marquez. Lo siento, Marquez. Lo siento. Let's get back to business. Let's quit fooling around. I wrote that song 20 years ago. I've been waiting to play that song for a very long time. For just this occasion. Thank you, Marquez. Thank you. Ooh, this pen is popping. My cat, she's cracking me up. It's hard to get up in there because it's crinkled. There we go. There we go. So you can you get the picture of where it's going anyways. Just had to fix a few things over there. whenever I'm doing boring things like this, filling in the gaps sort of stuff, especially with the background stuff, I always seem to do it in sections. Like this is just, I just create these little sections. I hate that when it dries, it doesn't look, you can see all the pen marks and stuff, so I have to go over it a few times. But obviously, when I'm live, I don't want to do that because that'll just be extra boring. The more stuff you add, the less, black you'll see, and the less you'll have to kind of fix it. But I wanted it to be a contrast to like the center of the drawing where there's actually a lot of substance. Let's see. Sorry, it's not focusing very well. Stick guy, I always knew that there was something about you that I respected. Deep down, I don't say this to everybody, man. Goddamn. You got me crying over here. Oh, shit. I'm crying over here. Thank you. First of all, thank you. Thank you. That's all. That's all I got. I wasn't crying. I was choking on a pickle. I was choking on a little dill pickle. Dill pickle. Little dill pickle. It was disgusting. I mean, you heard it. You can only imagine what it looked like, and it was absolutely disgusting. I was raised in the country. We don't choke on nothing except our words, stuff like that, But, you never tell anybody that you're choking on a pickle unless you really are. That's all I'm trying to say. I would never lie to you. I would never lie to you. This is actually the first drawing that I have ever made in my life. I would never lie to you. For those who just got here, hello and goodbye. I'm leaving. I'm out. Have a good night, everybody. I'm done. Freaking done. I am so freaking done. So done. I didn't want to talk about it anymore. Oh, God damn it. I don't want to think about it anymore. Stupid son. I don't even want to talk about it or think about it or anything anymore. I'm just so over it. You guys got me on a bad day. I'm so sorry. It's been a day of days since Sunday. Tomorrow's a holiday for a lot of people in this country, anyways. Some people have to go to work still, but at the same time, they have to do what they got to do to make a buck, to make a living. And I don't mean to be so angry or come off in a bad way. I just, I've just had one of those days where I just, you get home from clown school, teaching all those little buggers how to be clowns, and it gets frustrating because there's always that one kid who just doesn't get it, who thinks that juggling fire and juggling knives and then throwing them at you in class is a funny thing. I caught a knife to the shoulder yesterday. Luckily, I can still play guitar, and I'm working on it though. And then this nose, it was given to me by somebody because they said if I wear the nose, it would make me feel better. But I said, wait, I haven't know about that yet. I'm so waiting to see how I feel. Yeah, it's only been about 20 minutes. So I was wearing this 45 minutes ago, but I was using a voice changer thing that I had, but now I'm going to use a message at me. I'm a clown. I'm a clown for you, darling. I'm a clown. I'm a clown for you, darling. Yeah. Alright. And in the springtime, we heard the sound of a clown, darling. Someone that will not say, I'm saying to you, darling, I've frozen my heart for your parents too. I don't like your parents, they're kind of rude. And darling, I love you and the cats and your poodle in the puddle of life. Kind of song called Puddle of Life. It really rings true, especially when you think about doing things for yourself and thinking outside the box, and all that kind of stuff. So, what were we talking about exactly? I don't know why. I don't know what. Whoa! What do I got there? Hey, are you happy to see me, or is there a pen in my pocket? Oh, I was hoping they were happy to see me. It's never that they're happy to see me. It's always a freaking pen in my pocket. Stupid. All right. So. I just saw myself in the mirror, or in the camera, I mean, and I saw my reflection, and I realized that it was absolutely out of context. And I hope that puts it into better context. Oh, shit. I dropped my nose. It's okay. Who needs a nose anyways, right? Who needs a nose in this world? Who needs an ear? When you've got me, darling, everything comes in crystal clear. I'm a big-ass prick on the corner watching you cross the street. Okay. And I'm never gonna forget you, darling. I know we just met, but I'm gonna watch you and your pretty feet. That was a song called Pretty Feet. This lady was walking a poodle, and that poodle had the most beautiful feet. And I tried to ask her who the groomer was, but by then she was running. She was running for her life or something. I don't know what the devil was going on, but I can tell you this: it wasn't me. Okay, for a change, it was not me, it was her. Yes. This is what I do at 6 in the morning. I also do it at noon and 8 o'clock p.m. Central. And 7 o'clock Pacific. I just got something in my throat. It's like a tongue or something. How's everybody else doing? Well, I should probably get going. I have to interview another artist today. Frickin' jerks. Hello, how? I'm gonna see if I can. I've arrived. I gotta get this bug out of my throat. Hold on a second now. Get it out. Get out of there. I don't think that did anything. The cool thing about these is that you can also wear them as earrings. You know, you can just put them on your ear. You can put them on your forehead, right in the middle of your forehead. Just get a little piece of hair. Oh my gosh. I did get something in my throat. So, hope everybody has a wonderful day. I know I will. I'm gonna, well, probably drink some liquid. Maybe do a little workout. Um, work on some dance moves. Like that. And then I'm going to think about choreographing some cinematic landscapes for my new film called It's Never Gonna Happen. I finally wrote the script. I wrote it in under 3 minutes. Basically, at the very top, it just says, "It's never gonna happen." Screenplay by Storie Grubb, and that's it. I mean, it's a ghost. It's a ghost script. I don't script. Who needs a script when you have my brain? I can just get a bunch of people together, get them away from their families for months at a time, and we can just create something right out of my freaking brain. Even if I have to go in there myself and pull it out. Aloha, everybody. And be safe out there. Oh, this actually feels pretty good. Oh, yeah. So, happy Sunday. All that jazz. I love you. I love you, Ruth. Great to see you. I have arrived. You be careful now. Everybody, y'all know that you deserve better, right? You deserve the world. And I, for one, am going to give it to you. The only way that I know how. Through art and rubber band guns. I'm gonna become, when I become mayor of the world, I'm gonna tell the governments of the world that everybody and their little kids even need rubber band guns. All different kinds. Have you ever seen like I've seen a rubber band gun that held 2 rubber bands on it at once. And it was the most dangerous thing. That thing put an eye out. It was a chicken's eye, but still. I saw it happen. And then I ate the eye because I was starving at the time. You know what they say about a chicken? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? And I say, I don't care, just eat the stupid motherfucker. Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to say that. Oh my gosh, the producers are gonna beat me. I better start doing it to myself so they don't... See, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm flogging myself. Okay, everybody, I gotta go. Have a good day. I'm tenderizing myself. That's what you do when you're so tender that you tenderize. The heck is that? Ew. It's like a disgusting. Sometimes I disgust myself. Does anybody need any advice for the day? Or does anybody have any questions before I go? The thing in my throat has seemed to have dislodged. But that's not going to stop me from working out. If you guys have any questions, I can work out right here. It's not going to change anything. Let's just do it. Let's just get this out of the way. Okay. What is your best advice? My best advice: be yourself. Yes. Don't let anybody ever tell you who to be and how to live your life. I'm telling you, even if it leads you down channels that your mother wouldn't be proud of, even if it takes you places that scare you, even if it means you have to give up other pieces, other aspects and pieces of yourself. Don't ever do that. That hurt. That was really stupid. Do it. In order to be yourself, that's the best thing you can ever do. For the future you. The future you is already looking back and is judging you. I can tell you that right now. And the best thing you can do is make the future you proud. And to where you can't, be like, I wish I would have done that. Oh, I wish I would have said that. Even if it means saying something and looking stupid, you know? And yet, in that, being yourself, it's a big idea, but there's a lot that goes with it. But also, it's a matter of being honest with yourself. You've got to be honest with yourself. And you've got to surround yourself with passionate people. Friends are great. It's always fun having a buddy or a friend. But you got to surround yourself around people that are passionate if you want to go places. People that are on the level and that don't think you're weird because you look at the world differently. But yeah, be honest with yourself. Treat others with respect until they don't deserve it. And help people. Help yourself. And then give me some money. And then that's all. That's what that advice is for, really. It's all about the Benjamins. The Bennies. I think everybody knows this. If not, now you know. Link is in the description to my direct deposit. What did I miss? Happy face. Yeah, okay. It's a piece of styrofoam. Watch this. Crazy, huh? Oh, did you see that? You see that? Oh, shit. You bastard. You bastard. I did it the first time. I hope somebody saw that. Okay. Anyways. You would tell me if there was somebody behind me, right? If there was somebody sneaking up behind me with a shovel or something? Right. You would say something, right? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. It's not that kind of a show. Just so you know, if there's somebody coming up behind me with a shovel, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna shovel me to death. It wouldn't be a joke. It wouldn't be a part of the show. I'm usually alone when I do these shows. So if there is somebody that's coming up behind me with a shovel or some kind of shiv, it's funny that shovel and shiv are kind of. Anyways, the big shiv is a shovel is a big shiv. You can do so much damage with a shovel. How come people don't realize? Sorry, I grew up out in the country where we had a lot of shovels and a lot of spare time. So we dug caves and we did cave paintings in those caves. We were the best of times and it was the worst of times, but it was mostly the best summer of our lives. 1964. Can't believe I'm still alive after that one. Underground shovel canals, fake words, all sorts of weird things coming out of my face. Sounds, vowels, all sorts of stuff. It just don't make no sense. That's all I'm trying to say. God dang. So, yeah. If you do go outside today, try not to breathe the air, because that's poison. Don't look people in the eye. If you do go out, just do this. You have to cover your face like this. This is what Terry says, but when he wants to go outside, he just covers his whole face like that. He's a kid. He's a kid. He coughs this in his hand. He doesn't wash his hands after he leaves the bathroom and all that sort of stuff. And it's really gross because I at least wash the hands after I go to the bathroom. But so how am I to know if I didn't just use the bathroom that it was Terry going instead of me and he doesn't wash his own hands? Especially when I'm going back to the kitchen to cook. It doesn't make any sense. And maybe it's not supposed to, friends. Maybe the whole shebang, maybe the whole thing, maybe it's all a sham. Maybe it's all a big fat scam, right? Maybe it's just one big hologram scam sham. That's all I'm saying. You gotta consider the source. And the source is love. It's love. You gotta find love. You gotta find love within yourself. That way you can see it elsewhere too. If you can't find love out there, then you probably don't have love in here. And that's why I harvest love from other beings, other creatures. Like when they're in a loving moment, I capture it, and I put it into little jars and vials, and I pump it into my heart, like a Pulp Fiction style, right there. I'm full of love now, baby. Twice a day, morning and afternoon. Sometimes I do it in my eyeball, But it's love. It's love. And I'll take what I can get. Even if that means death. I didn't know where I was going with that at the end. That was a fitting end. It's a fitting room. I almost finished the drawing. I can probably just finish it now and call it good. I'll show you guys the drawing. Yeah. This is what it looks like. I know the light sucks. There you go. It's pretty big. But yeah, that's what it sort of looks like. The top is right, where is it? Right here. That's the last little bit I need to do. And then I could probably go through and touch up a few little things, but then it's pretty much done after that. And it's on a poster board or whatever the heck it's called, matting board. So it's and it kind of, it's funny because on the other side it's like I started a drawing once and it's just a little teeny circle on the back of this. And that's probably what this drawing, that's what this looked like at one point, because I always start with like a little circle. That's funny. I guess I was probably testing. I was testing the pen. It just sucks because, you know, it'd be one thing if I was doing this for a reason, like if I was doing this for like a magazine or a book or something. But I just do it, and then it just goes on a pile with the other shit, you know. As hard as I've tried to like do that, to get my work out there in that way, or even like on there, I live in like wine country in California, and I was thinking on a wine bottle, you know, put this stuff on a wine bottle. It's so, you know, it would look. I mean, they have Ralph Steadman, you know, I forget the artist's name that's out of Eureka. There's this artist out of Eureka, California, who's on like some kind of beer label there, like Blue Dog or something. I don't know what the heck it's called. But it's cool art. It's neat art. But then like, yeah, there's a bunch of, if you look at wine bottles and stuff and indie, what do you call them? Like the micro beer brew places. Like they always have cool art on their bottles and stuff, you know? And I don't know, is it like a matter of just going in? Of course, most artists went to school. They know how to, you know, use Adobe stuff. I have no idea how to do any of that stuff. I'm so analog, it's ridiculous. I wish I would have learned how to do Photoshop and stuff. At least just so I could, you know, make my art better, like online. And learn how to like do online stuff more. Never too late to learn, and I'm trying, but it's just so hard to like produce the stuff and keep a brain for the business end. I'm all over the place right now, I'm sorry. It's just looking at this, I'm like, damn, I wish this was actually doing something, like paying a bill or something, you know? People will always ask me if they want, or like how much for it or something, but then, you know, and sometimes people buy it, but how much would you say that I would sell this for, you know? It's such a hard, when I spent like 60 something hours on it, that's like, you know, minimum wage, that'd be like $1,000 at least. Minimum wage is like $7.25 an hour. That's so funny. In California, I don't know what it is. Like 11 or something. No, maybe 60. I don't know. Anyways, I do it because I love it. But I also have always wanted to make it my job. That way I could like travel the world and meet other artists and do other things. But I just don't know how to. I don't know how to break into that world. I've tried and tried and tried, and it's just been spat back out. I guess the point is to never stop trying, I guess. And I guess to find out what kind of world I want to be a part of. That's the thing, too. Sometimes the art world is so pretentious. It's like, oh my God, no, I don't want to show my art at that place. Like, What are they doing? I hate when art galleries get all political and stuff too. I don't like, it's one thing for your art to be political, but I don't think galleries should be political per se. You know, obviously it's like they're owned by individuals usually, but still, art should be you should be subtle in your approach. I don't know. It's hard to say because sometimes I'm not subtle at all with my art when it comes to what I believe, but I don't know. It's a tough one. Again, big picture stuff. I think people that make art just play it safe and just say this person bad, this person good, all the time instead of really going in there and ruffling up everybody's feathers and not caring about sides. And I mean, care about the people who are actually suffering out there. Who cares about the people who are making them suffer? People care more about the people and their feelings at the very top than they do at the very bottom that have been suffering for generations in this world. Which is pathetic. The people at the top get us all to fight each other, and so we do that, and we forget that in the week we take them at their word that they're going to change things. They never do. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And I just hate how they use us against each other, and people fall for it like hook, line, and sinker every time, and nothing ever changes for us. It just gets worse and worse and worse for all of us. Isn't that right, sweetie? Isn't that right, sweetie? I love you. Isn't that right? What are you doing? You're so silly. This is Abigail. This is Abigail. No, baby. I think she sees herself. What are you doing? You're so silly. She doesn't like being held, so that was actually kind of special. But now she's just chilling. Hey, don't go. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ooh, what was that? What are you doing? Good girl. Abigail just don't give a damn about nothing. Ow. She's trying to bite me. Sorry. She doesn't like my hands. I'm sorry. She puts her butt in my face and she's like, here, smell that so I can bite you. And you gotta respect that. Leave my nose alone. Hi, sorry about that. Kitty cat. Kitty cat. I wanted to talk to you about the wardrobe behind me. I know you've been looking at it. Hello, wardrobe. How are you doing? And yes, I do cut my own hair, just so you know. I think, therefore, I am. No, she's trying to eat a magnet. My baby cat trying to eat a magnet. You can't do that. It'll make you sick. I look over and she's trying to eat this. That would have really sucked. I gotta go now. Because now I want to eat it. And I gotta stop myself. But first I got to finish tenderizing myself. No. I just wanted to let you know how much I cared, is all. And if you want to send gold, link is in the description. The post office will only let you send about $5,000 worth of gold at a time. So you're going to have to sort of take your time. But I'll take what you're willing to offer. All of it, including my wardrobe. The other day I got lost in there. And I was thinking to myself, is this the end? I think so. And then I started laughing out loud and I realized that there was an echo. And when I came out, I was in a forest, a snowy forest in the middle of nowhere. I've never been there before. And the forest, out comes this little fawn person with a machine gun. And the son of a bitch opened fire on me. So I ran back into the frickin' closet as fast as I could. And I came pouring out of that goddamn wardrobe. And I never looked back after that. I got shot in the back, too. That was just Tuesday. That was Tuesday. I'm doing okay now. Thanks for asking. Oh gosh. Anyways, you're like, hello, and he's like, hello, who are you? It's like, wow, you're a fawn, half horse, half man. Yes, I am. Like I asked, who are you? Oh, I just came out of the wardrobe. Oh, well, here's my machine gun. And he starts like galloping towards you. That would be freaking terrifying. Or if he pulled out some kind of weapon, like a knife or something. I mean, like a scythe or something, you know. I mean, a fawn, an angry, like half man, half horse creature coming at you. I guess they're more of like a deer, aren't they, sometimes? But they look, whatever. Um, that would be scary. That'd be kind of scary. Don't go in the forest, friends. It's not worth it. The other week, I was actually thinking about going to the Oasis reunion, and with my guitar and doing some covers. And I was thinking I could do this. I could go there. And I could be, I could be their brother. Because I look just like those guys. I could be their brother if I just walk in like this. Hello, I'm a rock and roll star. It's my, especially like this. I'd be like, yeah, right, let me. No, I'm just kidding. They would never let me in. Ow. Liam and I don't get along. Famously, we don't get along. It's like Sunday morning and this guy always like revs his car up. It's not even 7 in the morning. He owns like this like crazy souped up like truck thing, and it is as loud as you can imagine a rocket ship is to Mars. In space, no one can hear you scream. But I just heard somebody fart. You do the math. Anyways. All right, everybody. Well, you all have a wonderful day. I appreciate the company. And all that stuff. But most importantly, be kind and be yourself. And just cut yourself some slack. Life's hard for some people. If you're having a good life, some people aren't, you know. If you're having a bad life, some people are having a good life. You just gotta go out there and do stuff. And that's all I just wanted to say about that. Perfect. So until then, I'll see you all later. You take care of yourselves. And you have the bestest of days too. Abracadabra. All right. I'll see you later. I'm gonna go cut my hair.